What's popular YouTube in a day and in the demo. And today we got a really cool one. I got a bunch of Broky clips because right now I don't think there's anybody better than him at clutching. I think Zywoo's up there. There's a couple other names that really have caught my attention, but I thought it would be a cool video just to go over his clutches alone because unlike some other people who clutch, his are very cerebral and there's almost always a moment where you can see what he's thinking, and he is the perfect line between this idea of what he should do in the clutch and the execution, which he's super sharp with. So sit tight, let's get into that. But first, I just wanted to say today is release weekend for Release 18 on the Boxer store. I'm wearing Boxer merch right now. It's a Floating World release. It started out as my personal brand, and now it's a clothing store where myself, Nathan Taylor, who are basically viewers from my stream who have worked with throughout the years, and we all have different jobs in esports, are like working hard to make this clothing company something special. And I want it to be more than just, launders gaming merch. It's really its own brand. So if you want to support what I do and you really like the clothes, go ahead and check out the release on the store. The quality is all incredible. Everything we do there's a lot of details that go into it, a lot of very talented people behind it, and clothing is something I've always done. So yeah, you can go check it out on store.boxer.gg, and the release is a pre-order for this weekend. And if you're watching this video, yeah, it's out today. So, all right, let's hop into some Broky clutches, of course. But to understand Broky clutches, you have to put on your glasses, okay? Because this is going to get kind of intense. Oh, people ask me where I got this background, by the way. It's somebody on Reddit made it in Blender, I think. So if you search like Nuke, Blender, CSGO, you'll find it. Okay, and what we'll do is watch the clip first and then go over it again after.
Till G2 are on your doorstep trying to retake, so they've got a double LORP now to G2. They've been able to grab another one of those. Not ideal, but HLTV's gonna make it work. Twist's dead, no scoped out. It's Broky alone in the clutch. 1v3 tucked in at the back of the site right now. m0NESY flashing out through heaven. The other two coming out through the heart. The barrel's been seen. Broky with one. Oh, and the double up. Looking for number 3, and Broky dancing around at the back of the site there. Keeps it in good standing for FaZe Clan. Coming alive, making up for a quiet dust 2 from him.
Already, this 1v3, it's hot, it's got a lot of action in it, and very, very fun to watch. But of course, there's a little bit more to it than simply standing in place and shooting 3 guys down. So what do we have to break down with this? Well, first things first, Twist gives Broky a little bit of info. All right, and dying right here. So what does Broky do with this info? He actually moves quietly to the back of the site. Now the paint can smoke gets dropped here inside of heaven. Which means that Broky knows he's going to have an opponent above him, one missing, and then at least one coming out of the hut. And in order to separate these engagements, Broky splits the difference a little bit by standing on the opposite side of the site, but it's closed to hut. It's open to Squeaky. And he's open to Mini a little bit. But you've got to take some kind of risk in the 1v3, right? So what does he do right here? He chills and he's like, okay, I really want to be able to get the player coming out of heaven first. That's the fight he's chosen to take initially. Because he's keeping his eye on hut. And so he's checking on Mini, but again, you've got to take some kind of risk. And then after that last check, he knows he's bought a few seconds. There's probably no one coming out of Mini at this point. And he immediately punishes m0NESY for coming out of heaven. Now, this is the next part that's really cool. So in his mind, he's on for the clutch. And instead of actually going towards the left side where Nico is, now he was spotted on the opposite side of this site. It's a closer angle. He goes for the wider swing. Now, in a previous video, I talked about the different types of peeks you do and when you want to take certain engagements. Some of this is, by the way, some of this is overanalyzing. Some of this is cognizant. Some of it isn't. But this is to show you that, players like this, they're going to make intuitive moves that are really strong, and some of it they will be able to synthesize really quickly in their head. Some of them they just make because they just have really good intuitions, right? But in this moment, swinging on this side of the back of the site provides you a little bit of angle dominance. Now, HLTV has to miss a shot for this to be possible, of course, but no clutch is possible without a little bit of a miss. So first of all, HLTV knows his teammate just died, silenced M4, doesn't know exactly where Broky's position is, and he swings out to the right, and he has the ability to separate himself from the side of the silo, right? If he goes to the left, Nico will be able to see his body when he swings before Broky can shoot back, and Nico will get that kill. So that's the difference between why he swings the left or the right side, at least from my perspective. Now, this is the other cool part. He actually reads that Nico could be on the other side of the site, even though he wasn't spotted. He just cleared Mini out earlier, doesn't think anyone else is coming out of heaven. and then takes the fight on the left side with this really confident swing. And when you're playing against somebody who's unconfident, then they're going to keep trying to hide in every single one-on-one situation and try to close you out slowly. And then you go, maybe he'll push towards HUD and then take this jiggle fight. But instead, one cool thing you can do if you're really in that moment is just go for the next peek right away. And sometimes that can displace your aim. Like Nico might have been smoothing the angle here on the side of the silo and thinking Broky's going to go farther away to the other side. But Broky, being very confident right here, just swings right back into the fight. And Nico will be startled because he doesn't know Broky knows exactly where he's standing. So that's why this one's really cool. So what we've got right now is another clutch, another 1v2 here from Broky, and it's got something in common with the last one that we watched. So stay focused. Let's see if you can catch it.
Robs comes out ahead. Robs is supposed to be the distraction, Vince. He was not supposed to stay alive for this long. And Robs doing everything finally will fall. Oh, but those whiff shot, they might just have lost the round here, Vince. They're going to come charging on in nonetheless. Twist though with the op, a missed shot. Broky dealing a bit of damage. Still winnable here.
Oh, it's still very winnable as they just picked up the kill. Flames is low on 6 HP, but they have the kits. Pushing onto the site. Broky needs to line up this deagle. There's one. They know where he is. Getting pushed from the left-hand side. He's trying to play the time. He's trying to mess with the minds of Miku, and then passes a bullet through there afterwards.
So good. Okay, so let's watch that back. And if you notice at the end of that clutch, just like we saw over in the last one, that he has that same kind of confidence when he goes to swing on the final target. So taking this frame by frame, first of all, information here is the first thing. And Broky's going to hear and get visual confirmation on both players who are rotating into the site. So what does Broky do? Well, this is actually interesting. So they don't see him for a second. He was just spotted in the market hallway. And he decides to tuck into the safe plant position. Now, this spot is a spot that you play in 1v1s, right? And it's a spot that if you get pre-fired, you will lose. So it's only a spot that you'll play if you don't think that you're going to be cleared. And it's a very unlikely spot to play in a situation where, you know, you could be anywhere. Like he had the choice to go to a more optimal location. But Broky, he only has a deagle in this situation. So he's taking a risk here and also lessening the rage between him and his opponent. They're going to come out and try to fight him. But look what happens, because how could you expect someone who's going to play with a deagle and safe plan in a 1v2 situation when they were spotted 5 seconds ago and they could have gone anywhere?
Flames is low on 6 HP, but they have the kits.
And we see right here, Fiku doesn't clear this. Flames jumps through the site looking to find him. They probably think he's bench, right? They think he's bench, or they think he's on the side of default plant, or they think he's somehow snuck off to the van. But this is the least likely option. He's hiding in plain sight, okay? And because of this, he has the opportunity to not only see both targets once again, but have an opportunity to get the first one out right away. And now Fiku will see him, and Fiku actually tries to cheat at timing by running all the way around. So Broky has to read in the second, is it going to be the left or right side? And Fiku nearly catches him off, but Broky switches out to the M4 he picks up and thinks, no, I'm close range, I have the deagle, let's go back to it. And here's where we see a mirrored image of that last clutch where he will swing on his opponent and not let Fiku approach him and close in on his angle. And it's perfect. There's not really a way for Fiku to react in this situation. You kind of have to let Broky get this first bullet in, and it is very clean because he sets up the peak perfectly with perfect crosshair placement as well. So that's the end of the clutch. And in this spot, Broky, he knows with the time ticking down, Fiku is in a panic. He's going to try to run him down. But if he plays scared, there's actually a chance, he gets killed on the way out, jumping around a pillar or something like that. And there's always a chance that Fiku is wrapping continuously around the left side, and Broky checks it just a second ago, if you notice. So this is calculated. He sees that, he doesn't see anybody there, and immediately just turns his attention forward and faces them confidently. And that is just the most Broky move ever. Okay, I wasn't sure when to watch this one, but actually consistent themes here. So we're going to see another clip that turns into a 1-on-2 situation here for Broky. I think he gets...
Zero Nation, your brain starts whirring. You start to think that, they're not committing B anymore. We've seen them in red. This is going to be an A play. And so coldzera starts to move through Temple to try and deal with it.
Oh, he's got great timing. Rob's just cleared this corner, but no more. coldzera comes through, and Broky getting spammed. Hits a headshot. Ludicrous, but got more to do in the 1v2. He plays close to the smoke. Can he really elude them? Shot connects. Broky with all three.
You can see kind of some similarities to the style in which he brings to the clutches, right? But I don't think there's anything that's unique to Broky in that sense of when you're, you know, by yourself, multiple numbers against you, you do have to make some kind of aggressive maneuver or really gimmicky spot play like we saw with the Deagle. In this situation, he pushes towards this HT smoke. And this has to do, in my opinion, with tethering to where the bomb is and then your available positions on the B site, like how far you can get to. So I think you'll see that Broky searches the site after this first kill comes down and then repositions after he kills coldzera, I believe.
Just cleared this quarter, but no more. coldzera comes
So he gets spotted. He locks us down, and now that just opens up behind, right? Now, there could be someone refreshing coldzera's position. He doesn't know about the other guy, right? We don't have any reason to believe that. He's actually still worried about Donut. And then, instead of going all the way out, he makes some footsteps back, comes forward to the smoke. And the idea here is replacing the guy that you kill, okay? So when he takes this first engagement, he's looking, okay, maybe I can sneak a kill here. And he's specifically looking for somebody to make a mistake by getting too close. And when he gets this frag, I have no reason to believe he knows Taco is next. All right, that's the difference between this and the next clip. And you can see Broky immediately swings and tries to, he replaces the player he just killed, and then he tries to see what's in the back in case Taco is over there. The thing is here, first of all, he just gets the kill, which is beautiful. If he doesn't get the kill and Taco isn't there, then he's in a very good spot to outplay Taco even further. If he wanted to, he can sit here, which is a good spot. He can jump back and forth between this angle in this alleyway and play with Taco, who's going to be trying to get to the bomb. And he has now taken the spot that was attacking him and turned that into his shield and use it to attack forward into the site. And that's the part of the clutch we don't have to see because his second target was here. But just a nice idea, really well executed. And again, he's so sharp that he will turn a situation that most of us know how to play and just like nail it, like really sharp, good transitions. So now we've got the best ones. Okay, this is the reason I wanted to make this video. This is the clutch that he's had versus Astralis. Absolutely unbelievable in the first round of overtime at the Blast Fall groups. And Broky, you know, really uses his brain here. We have no idea. Well, we have some info on where the remaining CTs are, but he's so alone in this position for a certain amount of time that lots of things have to be reset, right? Information is only valuable if it's new in CS, and after that, it really shouldn't be communicated even. It's on Broky to figure this out for himself.
Kills. They isolate Kerrigan.
That's absolutely massive. I mean, Config finding at least one in middle right after Kerrigan gets his double.
Ooh, Broky. Almost getting the timing there. Config. Did he see him?
Farlig definitely did. Half HP. Don't do that.
Yeah, definitely don't.
But Config has worked his way in towards Donut now. And Blame F coming from the other side of the map. I don't think Broky's going to see what's coming. There's the peek. Oh, he adjusts. Somehow he does find it. Over to the B-bomb side we go. Utility spent. Farlig's going to hear that. But these footsteps, I believe Config could hear all of these. So, yeah, there's no trickery. There's no sneaking around anymore. 17 seconds.
Gonna run straight for it. It will be a miracle if he can even live through the first fight here. 10 seconds on the clock, just running up with that AWP. Oh my god! He still gets it! It's impossible! And now it's a 1 versus 1. Config has got to be sweating bullets right now. He comes in for it. Yes, the shot! An absolutely out of this world clutch from Broky.
All these casts, all these clutches are casted beautifully, by the way. But here is obviously a round where if Farley sits still, they win. Like they just can't win. It's a complete scramble from Broky, and we'll see. Your clutches also have to do with the clock, and he absolutely had to plant the bomb as soon as possible. So this one's actually less cerebral in some sense than some of the other ones because a lot of moves were forced, if that makes sense. But it's, again, the execution and the final read that makes it really special. So right here he's searching. He's like, all right, well, they have confidence. They think they're going to win. Maybe they'll give me a peek, and then he finds this Farley peek and spawn. That's fine. A little bit of info. And again, even if they knew Farley was there earlier, having this info being fresh kind of rejuvenates the idea, okay, like now I've got a better idea of this. It recenters you, if that makes sense.
Don't do that.
So that's a little bit of info right there. And then he immediately just goes back to mid to search this out because Farley holding for this spawn cross in this situation was the point for Astralis, right? Because it wasn't necessarily to kill Broky. I mean, it was. But the idea, most importantly, is he cuts off the rotation over the A site. So we see now Config, who they pass and don't know about each other, goes over towards A because it's threatened now. It's possible that he goes there. Farley had to fall off the angle. And Broky is looking here to now flank the guy who could have potentially already been in Donut or somebody on the A site, take another route, and try to kill them here. Because Farley wouldn't be holding this cross if config was in spawn already watching it. Does that make sense? So now you've already limited your options. So this is very fast thinking by Broky. And based on how fast this shot is, I'm going to guess that he kept it in the back of his mind that like this peak could come at any time, because this is just such a ridiculous reaction.
Broky's gonna see what's coming. There's the peak. Oh,
like he just reacts so quickly right there. And now
somehow he does find it. Oh.
Now, of course, they have no choice but to respond to this, okay? So Broky doesn't know if there was a guy in Donut. He doesn't know if there's a guy in A side. He doesn't know that he's getting heard. And he throws this flash in case there wasn't. It would totally screw them up. A flash is the fire, and the moth is the opera on the other side. Farley is going to have to respect the fact that this op could be coming towards him.
To the B-bomb site we go.
As far as we know, it depends how confident config is about the footsteps in this position, but
yeah, there's
here's the other thing. Config knows at 18 seconds, he's got to pick a site, and they've got 1-1 to sites. It's game over, right? If Broky goes to A, config got it. If they go B, thing, whatever, he has it. Broky has to, the easier site to clear out is B, and he actually knows that there is an op here. And if you look at the 56 HP, there's one op, you know, maybe doesn't switch out to a rifle, that there's a potential he could hit that shot. He's also closer. There's just less variables.
Straight for it. It will be a miracle if he can even live through the first fight here.
And then this is just crazy, because obviously Farley, again, bless his soul, just hide behind the box, right? Broky doesn't have this moment. We don't talk about how great Broky is.
10 seconds on the clock, just running out with...
if he just doesn't move. But Broky finds the one place where Farley may have been after hearing that flash and says, I'm going to clear this angle, and gets rewarded for it.
Oh my god! He still gets it! It's impossible!
And right here in the 1v1, the odds shift completely, right? 2v1, you're in a losing situation. That's like a 99%, you could say, round one by Astralis, because they have Farley in, you know, such a winning position.
Now it's a 1 versus
but he even sees config here on his jump back, and coming into this fight, he is fully advantaged. So this isn't even that cool. This is just like, I win.
He's sweating bullets right now. He comes in for
obviously, he has to hit the shot, and it's a great shot. But that's the Broky brand. That's the Broky brand. So really, really nasty clutch, despite the massive mistake there by Farley. All right, and we've got one final clutch, the piece de resistance, the most insane clutch that I've watched, I think, this year. And it was by Broky versus Astralis once again, if they weren't already tired of getting bodied multiple times in one series. Here, watch Broky rip their souls from their chest.
Behind the smoke.
Yeah, Broky. He's wondering what's going on inside of the smoke. He's going to find one. Finds a second. Absolutely not. He's already done this so many times, and now he's looking for an ace clutch instead. It should be impossible, but we've said that many, many times already. Goes straight for the bomb plant. They open the door in front. Oh, gotta be careful. He gets one more. Surely not. On the other side, Clave is ready and waiting. Broky. Oh, he's toying with him. And oh my god, Broky.
It looks like, yeah, Rain just knocks his monitor over. This is such a shining moment from Broky. When he joined FaZe in the first part of the year, as soon as he joined FaZe, he was like the most clutch player in the world statistically for like the first, until like July of that year. And since then, he's still been hitting great clips, but like this is obviously next level. And a beautiful, like, funny moment at the end.
Rain even knocked.
It's just crazy. Like, if you met a guy like Broky in real life, yeah, I'll talk about this after, but okay. There's a huge mistake by Astralis here as well. So what was happening was another situation where Astralis feel like the round is over. They think they won. And Config was sitting in the vent. Now, Config knows he's defending the only exit to the B site with enough time, right? If Broky, the bomb is in position on the upper site, Broky cannot get that bomb and go to ramp. He can't get that bomb and go to secret, at least not safely. And he would have to run the whole time. It's just not a real option. Dropping vent is a real option. And Config, because it's 4-on-1, thinks, no way my team loses this, which I know that sounds like a stupid thing, a stupid way to play. And it is. This, you know, again, 99% of the time, you're still winning this round. So you actually, you know, I actually do cut people a break for making decisions like this. But
yeah, Broky.
Yeah, Config goes to search him out. He gets that kill. And now Broky, I mean... He kind of knows, right? He knows. Now, the thing is, you're always playing with this idea when you're sitting around the squeaky area. It's a really important late round position because the vent drop sometimes ruins all rotations. For example, in this situation, since Config was inside the vent, all the other CTs can be upper. They don't have to worry about anything else. So that just destroys the rotations, right? So a very key kill. And then what's also huge is that Broky, with 18 seconds, can get the bomb down, but he also wants to make this a 1v2. If he can get it, right? While everybody's still spread out and not in their optimal spots. As soon as he puts that bomb down, the CTs are going to slink into their best positions and make it very hard. They're going to find a way to double peek, open 2 doors at once, that kind of thing. And so Broky says, okay, not only am I going to get the bomb, but let's see if I can sneak another one real quick. And instantly goes to the, instantly goes to the vent, has nothing else on his mind. This was premeditated 100%. This is all very smart maneuvers, by the way. They're charging down the vent to try to catch him, knowing in the 2-on-1, he's forced to plant. If they can beat him, or if they even get the second guy there while the first guy dies, they will still either win on time or kill him as he's planting. And Broky closes the door and plants in the closest place possible. He could have gone to the back of the site, you know, played it a little bit slower, but let them get out of the door. That would have been a tragic mistake, as we're about to see. Attempts to cross right here and has to go full combat opping mode. Takes out Xyp9x, who's terrified, sitting in that corner. He's got a teammate right beside him and puts Glaive in a very awkward spot right now.
He gets one more. Surely not. On the other side, Glaive is
and this is just insane. And at this point, he's barely on screen, right? This is such a fast moment as well. And Broky's HP and the fact that he still had HP is a huge factor in being able to win this. But that's it. 1 bullet, 1 death, and Broky wins the impossible clutch. Being able to press E while crouch strafing, while a door keeps getting closed on you, plus having to... This is like some kind of shooting range aim challenge test, right? Like, as soon as you see your opponent, he's in another place, even after you just open the door again. Pure clutch. It's in the genes.
Rain even knocks his monitor over. How much can Astralis take?
That 1 versus 4 was really tough for us. Let me be honest. That was not fun. That was not, okay, let's go boys, let's take the next round. That was not at all like that. When you look back, it should have been like that because we could still have won the game. People were mad after that 1 versus 4. Everybody was, how did we just lose that round?
Crazy, crazy. So he puts the pressure on. And as I was saying before, you know, Broky's the kind of guy, like, if you meet him in real life, he just, you know, he's just so chilled, right? You never expect that he could act so fast in game. And I think that's great because there's actually a lot of CS players like that. Like Shroud's another one. But it's just like, damn, like he's quick. There's stuff going on up there, you know what I mean? Even though he's really reserved in person. But Broky clutches, that was awesome. There's a lot of good stuff there. There's things that they aren't actively thinking about that they do, that are the right decision, that they do on purpose, but they don't have to think about it, right? Once you've... Somebody talked about this in a last video, was like your internalized memory versus your whatever active decision making. And when you're at the pro level, or even you, I mean, it's not even about pro. If you have 10,000 hours in CS, you do this stuff all the time. You do a million things around that you don't even realize are on purpose. You've just done them so many times, you know they're the right decision. And the idea is that you can never keep up with someone who is at that level if you have to actively think about every decision, because they're going to be faster synthesizing things really quickly. So in some of these moments, you know, I'm overanalyzing a little bit. Like, here's a moment, he's probably not thinking about that, but it is also the right decision. And some of the times he is probably quickly deciding on that right decision. And so a lot of these things can be true. But anyways, I really love overanalyzing things. That's like my favorite thing to do. So yeah, if you like it, maybe we can do more of them. That was Broky's clutches. And yeah, remember, all weekend you order on the Boxer store. We only do these once a quarter or so. If you enjoy the release, and as always, be safe. Let me know who we got next.